Well, I'm a big believer in productivity. I think, there's nothing better than being productive as a person, whether it's in your job or in your life. And productive buildings are the same. I can't get my head around the fact that we build buildings just for aesthetics. Who cares about your roof tiles or, to me, a rooftop that you can't use is a complete waste of time. And I really believe that cities can be more dense in biodiversity than natural forests, because you've got, where people are, you've got waste water, you've got waste energy, you've got things that can make those plants grow. My parents tell me, and my brothers tell me, that I was collecting the neighbours' rubbish and trawling through rubbish when I was 4 or 5 years old. To me it was heaven, this scrapyard full of the most amazing things, from lights to cars to tractors to everything was getting pulled apart and recycled, and we made a lot of things out of people's waste and second-hand poles and second-hand timbers. So to me it's like, why aren't we using this stuff? You can recycle them. This soil is made from restaurant waste. And look how good the plants look. It just proves again that there is no such thing as waste. We can grow food in what we regard as waste. The initial idea was to have like a display home that showcased the design. And to me, that was a bit boring. I think, you want to get people excited: smell, taste, sound, sight. And that's what a hospitality venue does. You create a vibe and noisy and a buzz, and then all of a sudden people get excited not only about the venue, but they get excited about how they eat and what they eat and what is this, So this becomes a really powerful tool for great things. And there's a lot of green ideas out there that to me just add to the pile that we already don't need. But there's a lot of people that are doing great things that haven't got a voice, and then they do through this building.
So it was about 3 years ago. I got a call from a guy named Joost, which I had no idea who he was or anything about him. And someone had mentioned to Joost that I was the guy he needed for the job. He called me, sounded all crazy. I thought I got to meet this guy. So he showed me some conceptual drawings and stuff, and I just went, wow, this is amazing. I don't know how this is going to work out, but we'll give it a shot and see what happens. And it's the best decision I've ever made. It's all good and well to talk about these sort of things, but if you can't use the products, the produce that we're talking about, growing sustainably, producing sustainably, it sort of doesn't really back up the values that we're trying to spread. So I think it's important to practice what we preach. In the restaurant here I've got 8 chefs, all sort of not near as passionate about the sustainable side of things when starting here as Joost and I are, but it doesn't take long for them to get right into it and start to really take it on board. And we don't preach to people saying this is what you should be doing. We do it because that's what we believe should be done, and then before you know it, they're sort of doing what we do.
Well, my philosophy is don't tell anyone. I don't tell anyone what to do, and we don't preach, and we're just a place. So a lot of people feel that they're always discovering when they come here, because it's not in your face.
We've brought 20 students down today to have a look at what is arguably an example of best practice. It doesn't matter where you start or how small. You build a forest out of seedlings that are tiny and insignificant to start with, but when they come to maturity they can achieve some great things. And the ideas that are represented by a structure here like the greenhouse is just an example of that we can live more sustainably, we can create a better world, and we can create better futures for subsequent generations. We're hoping our students will be inspired and pick up some learnings that they'll be able to take back and deploy in their everyday lives.
Oh, I'd be so happy if I walked into a greenhouse that was 10 times better than mine. Seriously, I think the next generation is going to be quite amazing. That's what I said to the kids today. I said, I want you guys to blow me away, show me ideas that I couldn't dream of, and it'll happen. To me, there is no such thing as competition. We just need to work together. And I'm an open book, so I'll always tell everybody everything that I'm doing or thinking, and My business partner set me down with an IP lawyer once, and the guy said at the end, mate, this is not going to work. I said, what's the point? You know, if we're working on something, how are you going to open up to me if I'm keeping my cards close to my chest? Ideas don't evolve that way. No one ever comes up with an idea on their own. No, I'm never quite satisfied, and that's probably the reason why I keep doing this stuff. There's so much more. Like, we're harvesting urine, and this building's running on oil. That was a dream 5 years ago. That was something that I didn't even think would be possible. Now we've done that. It's done, and it's working beautifully. And okay, what's next? The greenhouse project is about lifestyle and the choices we make, and showing that productive buildings is not far-fetched. It's possible. We can all live sustainably.